welcome to FYI. We've shifted from a Thursday to Friday, so we can have Ann Eisenman in studio. Of course, April is Community College Month. I am a product of a community college, so I have two children who attended Clinton Community College, so I know the importance of a community college, and we are so blessed in the city of Clinton to have one. Does anybody ever call it junior college anymore?
Gosh, Gary, you know that.
We used to call it JUCO.
You know that happens. It was 1946 when the community voted in favor of starting a community college here. And of course, Paul B. Scherer was the first dean of Clinton Community College, and so our foundation is named in his honor. So in the fall will be our 80th anniversary of having this wonderful opportunity. There were 86 students in the first class at Clinton Community College, Clinton Junior College, located at Clinton High School, across the hall, from the regular classes. And half of those students at Clinton Junior College were veterans returning from World War II. And that's kind of our history. And then since then, of course, we've just had growth year after year, eventually moved to our location now that we've been at 1000 Lincoln Boulevard. We've expanded our facilities. We have our learning center across the street from where we are, our new career advancement centers, which house our career academies, and that's right, again, across the street from our main parking lot. And then in DeWitt, we have a DeWitt Career Academy, which houses 9 more career academies for students. And then we have our Maquoketa Center as well up in Maquoketa, which was, we started in 2008, a vision of a group of people, and again, a bond referendum that was approved by our community. And the goal, and under Karen Vickers' leadership, Karen Vickers was president for many years at Clinton Community College, but the goal was to be able to have students in Jackson County complete a degree without having to drive out of the county to do that. So between online classes and classes on campus there, they could complete an associate's degree in Maquoketa. Now, because of logistics and programming at different locations, and people really have probably much more ease of transportation, although our students still have transportation barriers that we're always trying to help with. But we can deliver online, we can deliver with a hybrid type of course, sometimes on campus and sometimes online. And then we can, of course, deliver on-campus classes. And so we have a fabulous group of faculty who are very diverse and able to manage those different modalities of delivery for our students. And so we have a wonderful group of students attending, just like your children did, you did. My kids attended Clinton Community College too.
I went to Iowa Central Community College in Fort Dodge. They had a broadcasting program there at the time.
Yeah.
Again, visiting with Ann Eisenman, it is Community College Month. Before we get into some of the things that will be going on, you're going to be retiring soon. Talk about why you decided to come to the foundation, to the college,
Sure.
and what you've all done since you've been a part of this.
Sure. Well, nobody lives in a bubble. Nobody does things by themselves, and so I have to give credit to the thousands of volunteers and donors who have participated in all the things we do, whether it be fundraising, and we'll talk a little bit about the Bickelhaupt Arboretum and the successful fundraising that occurred with that, but also the volunteers that help with things. Today is our Student Leader Luncheon for our Alumni Association. We have 27 students we're recognizing for leadership in the classroom, on campus, and in the community, and it takes people to nominate those folks. It takes people to mentor those folks. Our staff and faculty nominated these students for what they see, and so we're always interacting with our students and helping them really to grow and be the best that they can be. The number of volunteers that help every year at the Bury Scurry, the number of volunteers that have helped with the Bickelhaupt Arboretum, and they're just, and again, the donors, millions of dollars have come in over the years of the Paul B. Scherer Foundation, which actually started in 1981. I've been here since 2002, and we've expanded some programming as we've seen needs for students. For instance, again, with Karen Vickers as our president, in 2003, she said to me, what happens if we give every student that graduated our GED program a college scholarship for college? And all of a sudden I thought, oh my gosh, there's about 100 people in the program at a time, and if we gave them each $1,000, there's $100,000 a year. And my mind was just, I'm thinking, oh, I don't know if we can do this. And she said, well, let's give them one class. And then Karen, in her wisdom, reached out to Eastern Iowa Community Colleges and said, our foundation is willing to partner with you. We'll pay for half if you pay for half. And so we started that program in 2003, 2004. Since that time, we've had almost 1,100, close to 1,129, I think, students complete the HiSET, now it's HiSET program, that high school equivalency program. So we've had that many students. We followed them over all the years. We've had about 10% who have completed a degree or certificate or a diploma of some sort over that time period. But what's really amazing is we know from statistics that 80% will be successful with that college class if they take it, but only 20% actually take the class. So our responsibility then is to encourage those students, get them enrolled and to sign up for that class. Now, they might not go on to complete a certificate or diploma or degree, but they're gonna have some higher education on their transcript, and that's gonna help them because we know that 80% of jobs require some post-high school education in order to be employed in our community. And so we're helping them get that. It's all connected, and that's just one of the many programs we do for our students.
You gave us a little bit of history at the outset of this interview. Clinton Community College, part of the Eastern Iowa Community College,
yes,
with the Scott down in Davenport area and Muscatine. When did that come about?
So Muscatine was one of the first community colleges in the state of Iowa. And did you know there was a Maquoketa Community College too?
No.
Ed Tubbs, who was one of the founders of Onward Bank Shares and father of Al Tubbs and grandfather of Brigg, he actually attended Maquoketa Junior College. And so that's pretty interesting. So Palmer Community College merged in as Scott. Muscatine started in the 1920s, I think. And so they're one of the longest community colleges in the state of Iowa. And then, of course, we started in 1946. And so when the state of Iowa decided to merge into community college districts, that's when Eastern Iowa Community College became one of the 15 districts that we have throughout. And Iowa Central Community College is one of the districts. And we work with them. I'm part of a group of Iowa Foundation directors. You know, we all work together and we all learn from each other and share best practices. And so we work with Iowa Central, and we're always awed by what they do for their students there.
Is Iowa one of the better states for community colleges?
You know, that's interesting because the American Association of Community Colleges is just getting ready to have their conference, their national conference next week. And I just got a call yesterday from their executive vice president, Jen Worth is her name, and she's our Metallica Scholars Initiative contact. So we work with Jen all the time, and she's gathering statistics right now about the state of Iowa because we are a model program as far as communications with each other, as far as communications with the presidents within the state of Iowa and our foundation directors, and then programming with the workforce development people in the state of Iowa. So they're going to actually utilize some of our statistics next week at the national conference because we are a model state.
And before we take a break for the weather and we continue on with Ann, the one, I think, great thing about community colleges is the cost savings for students.
Right. And again, with our foundation, we like to offer as many opportunities with students as we can. So we know we have a low per credit rate. We also, through Eastern Iowa Community Colleges, for the high school students, the high achieving high school students who have been taking concurrent classes through the years, they get a connection scholarship that could be up to half tuition for their first year with us. Our foundation then commits to those students that are going to have tuition. We're going to help them complete that degree at no cost. And so many of our students are completing their education without a cost. Now, there are also some people who might not be as high achieving and are going to work a little harder, but our foundation has made a commitment that everybody that applies for scholarship that meets the 2.0 GPA, we will award some sort of a scholarship to them because we want to give them that financial support and encouragement to continue their education.
More with Ann Eisenman. We're going to take a break for the weather, brought to you by Frary Lumber.
Most of the daylight hours will be quiet, but as we head into this evening and overnight, another round of strong to severe thunderstorms with everything from damaging winds and even a few tornadoes. Temperatures will reach the upper 60s today, falling into the low 40s tonight as storms come to an end. With your Storm Track 8 weather impact forecast, I'm meteorologist Andrew Stutzky.
Skies remain overcast. Temperatures holding in the mid-40s. Our update brought to you by Frary Lumber.
Planning on building a new deck this summer or replacing an old one? Your outdoor living space is where you can reflect, relax, and recharge. And you can create the deck you've always imagined with Trex composite decking from Frary Lumber in Fulton. It's hassle-free. No sanding, no staining, no painting. And it's engineered with unrivaled fade, stain, scratch, and mold resistance. Visit their showroom to see what options and colors would work best for you. Enjoy the summer on a new Trex deck from Frary Lumber in Fulton.
FYI, on a Friday, and we've got Ann Eisenman in, it is Community College Month here in the month of April. I just got in the mail a new magazine that they have put together, and I found it very interesting. There was nice articles in there, including an article on the Bickelhop Arboretum, which I know is dear to you.
It is dear to me. So I want to give credit to Jonna Kiers. She is our Associate Director of Marketing and Communications for Eastern Iowa Community Colleges. And I actually was part of the interview committee and hiring committee that hired Jonna years ago. So she's been a great asset for Eastern Iowa Community Colleges. She really holds this magazine near and dear to her heart. And yes, if you open up to the middle page, I mean, we are the middle of the magazine there for the Bickelhop Arboretum. A new era begins at the Bickelhop Arboretum, and that's certainly true. We received the Bickelhop Arboretum as a gift from the family in 2014. Again, Karen Vickers was the leadership working with Sean Hill Lamb and Francie Hill, Sean's mom, in brokering that gift and getting that taken care of. Since that time, we've been holding this, kind of thinking about what do we do with the Arboretum, how do we make it functional for the community, but it also needs to be revenue generating because trees don't pay for themselves. And so we've transformed this beautiful home, a very solid home built in the 1950s, into an education and event center. It's almost 9,000 square feet of space, which is huge. We have added restrooms to each level. There's 3 levels of this facility, and accessibility is key. Anyone with a wheelchair walker can get to any of the levels in the Bickelhop Arboretum. So accessibility is key to this. We have technology that's up to the minute in this building. We have beautiful vistas, looking out onto the 15 acres of Bickelhop Arboretum, but inside the building is another showpiece. And we worked with Hot Glass out of Davenport, Iowa. They created a blown glass art installation that is in a 3-foot deep cavity that was the swimming pool, an indoor swimming pool for Mr. and Mrs. Bickelhop. We used a steel grid structure for flooring then on top of that space. We have 4 by 4 foot glass tiles that sit on that. They're 3-inch thick glass tiles that are just incredible. And then that lit hot glass, blown glass is underneath in the floor. So you're going to walk out onto this beautiful floor, and people can't help but look down and see the amazing colors and design that Joel Reiser and his son Logan, who are the hot glass artists, put together. Gabby Torres is part of this too. We have an animal experience where people can walk through and see the collection of taxidermy that were collected over the years by Mr. and Mrs. Bickelhop. None were hunted or killed in order to be part of that. I just want to make it clear for children and adults to know that the Bickelhops didn't believe in any of that, but these were taxidermy that were gifted to them. People contacted them and say, hey, I've got a this or a that. And so we have a beautiful collection, including a snowy owl and a bobcat and a bear and a coyote and a beautiful fox and just all kinds of wonderful animals. And we put that together so that people like your grandchildren and mine could see face to face, these animals. I have to give credit to the donors who participated in that. Alan Myrna Tubbs helped sponsor the animal experience. Brig and Cami Tubbs and First Central State Bank helped to sponsor the art installation. We also have folks like Jan and Eric Johnson who have been great supporters of this. Of course, the Bickelhop family have been great supporters of this. And so, and Dr. and Mrs. Abagati have been great supporters of our Arboretum project, and many, many others. And so it's been a really incredible opportunity for people to be engaged, to create this facility that will really serve for generations to come and will follow the mission that the Bicklehops had, which was education through nature. You'll be able to explore outdoors on the 15 acres, but also indoors, and you'll be able to see the beautiful handiwork inside.
Are there hours that this is available? How does this work?
So we have Doug Smith, who is our new associate director of the Bickelhaupt Arboretum. He met Margot the other night for the first time, Margot Hansen. She was the director of the Arboretum. David Horst is still there, and so he's our horticulturist. But Doug Smith is really our contact person. He will be setting the hours of when people can wander around inside the home, the building, the Education and Events Center. There will be events there sometimes during the day, sometimes during the evening. Some classes will be there. So the hours will be limited based on who is utilizing the facility at the time. We have our first community event there on Monday night, which is very exciting. This week we invited our friends of the Arboretum, those that have donated to the project, came and explored. And then a couple weeks ago we had a sneak peek for the neighborhood, and we invited all the neighbors to come. They've been very patient and kind with us as we've had construction going on for a year. And so we invited those folks to come in and wander around. I could see some neighborhood gatherings on the deck, and those folks really enjoyed, because they all knew each other, and so that's a lot of fun. And then, of course, on Friday, today, it's Good Friday for many reasons. It's the gift of ultimate love, today, the ultimate gift that was given to us all. But it's also the day that Thomas Dambo, our Danish recycling artist who's building 3 trolls in our community, he and his team arrived today.
Oh, okay.
And so we'll be with them this weekend. And then on Monday, they'll be at the Arboretum to start their work. We have a troll coming to the Bickelhaupt Arboretum. There will also be one at the Sawmill Museum. And then there's a surprise troll someplace else in Clinton. We don't know anything about that. So people have signed up to help build the trolls. On April 30th, there will be an artist talk at the at Nelson Corps Lumber King Stadium. That will be in the evening, and Thomas Dambo and his team will speak that evening at the Lumber King Stadium for that. And then on Friday, May 1st, which is May Day, we will do a 10 o'clock ribbon cutting of the Bickelhaupt Arboretum, and we'll unveil all the trolls that day.
Time is going by so quick, Ann, and there's some things I want to talk about yet. Just a couple more things from the magazine. Emerson Kiefer, who we did have in on Ladies' Day, she has highlighted she just graduated. Now she's an instructor there. And
she's a Paul B. Scherer Foundation scholarship recipient. We're proud of her in many, many ways. She's a wonderful product of Clinton. She is a very dedicated, she took our career academy and the Culinary Career Academy. So she's a product of that program, but she's such a hard worker. She's going to be providing vegetarian meals on Mondays to the Thomas Dambo team. And so anything we ask of her, she says yes. She's helping with there's going to be a mystery at the Arboretum next week on Thursday, the 9th, and she's helping do the food for the mystery night. That's part of Community College Month. We have a lot of free events, and I encourage people to go to our website, eicc.edu, and look and see what free events we have going on in April, and sign up for some and come join us. There's another bus trip. There's going to be a historical buildings bus trip in April. We've got Emerson doing her working with a group to do the mystery, and we just have a whole bunch of things happening and throughout the month. So come and join us. Give us a call, 244-7001. Give us a call, and we're happy to share more information. Go to our website, stop in and say hi to us. Visit the Arboretum, wander around. The Arboretum is open from dawn till dusk, 365 days of the year. The parking, we've got new permeable paver. I've got so many things, Gary. I could talk to you for months about things at the Bickelhaupt Arboretum alone.
And I also saw in the magazine there's going to be a mascot reveal.
Do
you know anything about that at all? I know
what?
You can't reveal it to us.
This is funny because isn't that a funny page?
Yeah, and it's got it looks to be an orange paw.
An orange paw, and I don't know what is an orange paw. My promotion was the current, because I thought electric and river and all of those things, and the current did not make the top of the list. It didn't even probably make the bottom of the list.
Well,
And
WQAD might have had something to say about that because they have a program called The Current on from 4 to 5 in the afternoon.
I didn't know that. So, so that's interesting. I know nothing about the mascot, but I'm as excited as everybody else is because it almost looks like the Grinch's hand. If it was green, it would look like the Grinch's hand.
When's that going to be
Or
revealed?
it looks
Do you have
like,
any
it
idea?
looks like
It could be a
Ernie
tiger.
from, it looks like Ernie from
Sesame Street?
Yeah, it could be. I have no idea when it's
Okay.
revealed.
All right.
Hopefully soon. We're all curious.
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
And to close out the program with you, and thank you so much for your time. You're retiring June 1st. What are
No,
your plans?
July 1st.
July 1st, I'm sorry, July 1st. What are your plans?
I have 4 grandchildren that I want to spend time with. My daughter is very busy. They're 6, 4, 2, and 1, and so the little guy turns 1 on Easter, and so so I'm going to spend time with my children and grandchildren. My mom is in Tulsa. I'm going to spend days each month with her. She's a spry 88, and I want to spend as many minutes and hours as I can with my mom. I have some volunteer opportunities. I'm part of the Sawmill Board. I'm part of the Iowa Nice Group that helps our Ukrainian friends and helps them have a new opportunity here since their world was bombed and destroyed, in Ukraine. So I'm part of a lot of groups that I'll continue to serve on. I'm on Iowa State Extension Council. I really enjoy that, and I'll help with the county fair in July. So I've got a lot of things on my plate.
So yeah, you're really going to slow down in your
My
retirement.
husband just wants me to mow.
And thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you, Gary.